Ohio, this is Manyepa, and this is I'm back with this paper to just finish up the second part, which is biology 2017 right here, paper 1, 5090, and I'm doing question 21 to 40. Okay, the phone I'm using cannot easily pause, so I'm actually going to be flipping pages and we'll flip together. Let's get to question 21. The diagram shows a reflex arc. That's your spinal cord. That's the gray matter, white matter. This is the roots. These are two roots, the ventral and the dorsal roots. So this is our dorsal root and this is our ventral. The back root, the front root. Okay, so let's get to our question. What are the numbered neurons called? What are the numbered neurons called? If you look at this one is a relay neuron. It's found in between two other neurons, the receiver and the effector neurons. So the one which is receiving this one, look at this arrow, this is the sensory neuron, okay, and this is the motor neuron. Okay, so 1 is our relay, then 2 is our sensory because it's sensing and transmitting impulses, one impulse to the central nervous system. Then number 3, which is this 3 here, look at this arrow, is our motor neuron. It's taking an impulse to bring about a response. So the answer there is A. Relay, sensory, and motor. Number 22, the diagram shows a longitudinal section of the human brain. Which of the labeled part is responsible for controlling heart rate, reasoning, and temperature? Okay, when we talk about heart rate, reasoning, temperature, reasoning is Q, the forebrain. Okay, this is where consciousness exists. And then this is a pituitary gland, and this is a hypothalamus up here. So Q is all about heart rate, sensing of amount of water, sugar levels, and many other small non-voluntary aspects of our bodies. So already reasoning is Q. You can even conclude to say reasoning is Q. Then P is heart rate. Then finally S is temperature. Okay, this is this brain stalk where you find things like the medulla oblongata and the like. So this is the medulla oblongata region, but the answer is PQS, which is A. Okay, next question, which is question 23. Question 23. The diagram shows bones and muscles of the forelimb or the front limb. Okay, so which of the following correctly identifies joint P, and what happens to muscle Q and R when the arm is straightened? So joint P is a hinge joint. Okay, quite right, it's a synovial joint, but it's a hinge joint. Look at the answers and how the question is phrased. This is a hinge joint, it only moves in one plane. If your arm can go all the way up to this end, then there's something wrong with you. So this is a hinge joint, and when the arm is straightened, this muscle contracts and this other one relaxes. Remember, muscles are meant to contract and not stretch. So muscles don't stretch to bring about their effect, they contract. So if this arm has to straighten, this one has to contract. So the answer is C, hinge joint. Then Q has to contract, then R has to relax. Answer is C. Number 24, the diagram shows plant shoots growing towards a stimulus, and the stimulus is labeled as light through the window. So what type of tropic response is illustrated in the diagram? Positive phototropism. Positive because it's growing towards the light, and a response to light is referred to as a phototropism. Photo means light, tropism means response, light response. So it's positive. The answer is B. I go to question 25. I move my paper here. Question 25, the diagram shows a longitudinal section of a seed. Okay, and that's actually a bean seed. What are the numbered parts? This comes from your growth and development topic. Okay, in your grade 11, towards the end of your grade 11 topic, biology. No, towards the end of your grade 10, grade 10 or grade 11? Okay, it's grade 11. So what are the numbered parts? A is a plumule, and one is the plumule, and then 2 is the radicle. The plumule is the embryonic shoot, and then the radicle is the embryonic root. Okay, so the answer there is B. Cotyledon, no. Okay, the cotyledon is this here for this, so this one dies off. Then radicle, no, you have swapped the two. Then finally, cotyledon again, it asks you the answer. Our answer is B. 26. What type of asexual reproduction occurs in rhizopas? You should understand what rhizopas is. This is a fungus. Okay, and fungi sometimes may undergo sexual and it's also asexual. Sexual, I would say, involves release of spores, but again, it also can also grow just like, through other means. So budding is the answer there. Budding is the answer for 26. 27. Identify the type of natural vegetative propagation illustrated by the following diagrams. Okay, so my answer was B, where X are simply tubers. These tubers have got eyes. If you ever find sweet potatoes or Irish potatoes, you realize that they've got eyes. In those eyes, that's where shoots can actually grow. Those are buds, okay, dormant buds. So these are tubers which can grow into another plant. Then these are rhizomes, okay, like in ginger. Okay, this is, if anything, this should be ginger. Then these are bulbs like in onions. Okay, and then those other like beetroots, those are combs. But the thing is, that's tuber, rhizome, and bulb. The answer is B for number 27. For number 27. The next question. Which feature in the flower below shows that it's wind pollinated? Okay, feathery, stigma, pendulous, anthers. Okay, they are all exposed, they are all elongated or exaggerated for them to be exposed to air. So long filaments, which is still correct for this. The answer is long filaments. Number 29, the diagram shows 4 different fruits. Which 2 fruits are dispersed by animals? My answer was 2, because this looks like a tomato. It's edible, it has got a lot of flesh. So usually these fruits can actually be eaten by animals. Animals don't select seeds, but humans and maybe even monkeys can remove seeds. But these other animals like elephants and the like, they just chew. And the seeds will not be digested because of their tough tastes. So it can be dispersed by animals. And these can hold in the fur of an animal. This is wind dispersed. This is self-dispersed. This, this can actually float in the air. So my answer was C, 2 and 4. Okay, so you should have read about dispersal and you easily figure out that question. Question 30. Which of the following correctly states the functions of the Cowper's gland, prostate gland, and seminal vesicle in male reproductive systems? My answer was A. Cowper's gland provides lubrication. It provides or produces clear mucus, okay, very clear mucus-rich fluid, okay. Then the prostate gland activates sperms. It's a site where sperms, I would say, are partially stored and grow into maturation, okay. Then seminal vesicle produces a fluid that is rich in simple sugars like fructose. Okay, and these are the sugars that sperms absorb as they move around or as they grow, and even after ejaculation, they are nutrients. In short, provide nutrients to the sperm cells or spermatozoa. My answer is A. Okay, A is the answer. I get to the next question, which is within reproduction, grade 12 work. 31. The diagram shows part of the human female reproductive system after copulation. Copulation is where, people do bad things. Okay, sexual intercourse, in other words. What processes are taking place at points 1, 2, and 3? 1, this is ovulation. 2, this is fertilization, because there's like a sperm cell here, sperm cell. They come and, fertilization here. You can even tell there's a tail here. Then 3, that's implantation. Even before you look at the answer, you can tell what's going on there. So implantation into the wall of the uterus, which has thickened, okay, and this thickness is simply causes a buildup of small blood vessels, capillaries, which later grow, like in this region where the implantation has taken place. This part will grow to form a much bigger organ known as the placenta. If fertilization does not take place, these capillaries break down, the wall of the uterus break down, and since capillaries carry blood, the menstrual discharge actually has blood in it because it's of the breaking down of these capillaries, which are supposed to form the placenta if fertilization takes place and implantation occurs successfully. Otherwise, what processes are those? Ovulation, fertilization, implantation. From the period of fertilization to the period of implantation, we call that conception. Then from the period of implantation to birth, that is known as gestation, or let me just say pregnancy. Otherwise, our answer there is C. 32. Vasectomy is one of the methods of preventing pregnancy. Which structure in the male reproductive system is cut during vasectomy? The sperm duct. Okay, the sperm duct, also known as the vas deferens. The answer there is C. 33. Which statement correctly describes events which take place during interphase of mitosis? Chromosomes are replicated ready for the next division. Inter means between phases. Okay. After interphase, what follows is prophase. Okay. And then metaphase, then anaphase, then telophase. Otherwise, chromosomes are replicated ready for next division. D is the answer. 34. A horse, or maybe in horses, red hair is dominant over brown hair. Horses of hair. A breeder crosses a number of heterozygous red-haired horses. What percentage of offspring will be red-haired? Okay, we're told that red is dominant, brown is recessive. A breeder crosses a number of heterozygous red horses, meaning these horses have got alleles in this kind of form. If this is red for dominant, this is, I'm supposed to use small letter R, but I can still use small letter B for brown, small letter B. The point is the recessive one is written as a small letter. What percentage? So you have to imagine, or maybe not imagine, you have to draw this kind of crossing to simply make a conclusion, because you're looking at the phenotypic aspect, red-haired. You're looking at the color, not the genotype. So genotype-wise, these 3 or 75% would be what? Would be red-haired. Okay, would be red-haired. So the answer there comes out as 75. So you have to draw a crossing, simple crossing diagram, and see what percentage of red-haired horses you would have, and also understand what the term heterozygous, it means this kind of arrangement. A carrier of a brown recessive hair gene. We get to the next question for 35. Which of the following diseases is caused by a chromosomal mutation? My answer there was Down syndrome. I've forgotten, it should be chromosome number 21, okay? If you have an extra chromosome number 21, you're going to show Down syndrome, you're going to show Down syndrome characteristics. Otherwise, color blindness is the gene, okay, gene mutation, but Down syndrome is brought about by an abnormal number of chromosomes in the zygote. The answer is B. 36. The diagram shows an experiment set up to investigate one of the components of soil. The water level in the U-shaped tube moves up towards P, okay. What component in the soil is being investigated in the experiment above? So the water level moves, look, here it's higher, here it's lower. So this is P, that's Q, and they're saying moves up towards P. Normal soil to baked soil. You bake it, you kill a lot of microorganisms in the soil. You heat it, also what just remains here is just soil by itself. Here, this is normal. Understand that in soil are small microorganisms. And so caustic soda is there to just absorb carbon dioxide, okay? So these guys are respiring. So if anything, this is showing that there are microorganisms in the soil because they are consuming oxygen, okay? Consuming oxygen, microorganisms. Question 37, the diagram shows feeding relationships of organisms in an ecosystem. Which organism in the food web are herbivores? So herbivores are organisms that feed on vegetation only. So impala, zebra, giraffe, and elephant. are the herbivores. Look at this guy here. Leopard, no. Cheetah, no. Leopard, no. Leo, no. The answer is A. So you just have to understand what a herbivore is. Our last 3 questions to just wrap up this paper are 38. The diagram. So you've got nitrifying bacteria, denitrifying bacteria, and nitrogen-fixing bacteria, and the like. But the answer here is C. At which point are nitrifying bacteria involved? At C. Okay. D, those are denitrifying bacteria. They digest nitrates to produce nitrogen. The nitrogen is taken up by plants or is converted to other compounds and nitrates by nitrogen fixing, not nitrifying, but nitrogen fixing bacteria. So these are nitrogen fixing bacteria, denitrifying bacteria, nitrifying bacteria, then dead matter to ammonia. These are just decomposers, like a number of factors like detritivores. Okay, that's B. So our answer there is C. This is coming from, cycles, nutrients in the environment, like cycles in the environment, water cycle, nitrogen cycle, carbon cycle, under ecology. 39. What changes in the concentration of oxygen? What changes in the concentration of oxygen, number of fish, and number of bacteria would occur when sewage is discharged into a river? Concentration of oxygen would reduce because number of bacteria would increase. These guys respire. And number of fish would decrease because of deprivation of oxygen. So our answer is B. The last question there is, which of the following human activities help increase biodiversity of organisms? You have to understand what biodiversity is. Biological diversity. In a rough way, I would say biodiversity is a term that refers to the variety of living organisms, including plants, that are found in a specific area. So afforestation can actually increase the biodiversity because it comes with a lot of benefits for many organisms, both small and huge. So I end here for this paper. I'll be seeing you in other videos. Remember to like and share and leave your comments. This is Banyepa, and I say bye-bye to you.